All right, and welcome back to episode 24 of the 024. I should just start that over. Welcome to episode 024 of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co. I'm your host, Grant Broggi, here with Waylon, getting bigger.
New co-host.
Yeah, it must be what they're putting in the milk, except he doesn't have milk. He just eats meat. He's a carnivore. This is a carnivore family.
Raw milk?
Doesn't have any milk, actually. He just eats raw meat.
I love it.
I'm here in studio with PJ.
What's up?
What's up? Today's date is June the 4th.
Ooh.
So we don't say May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you on June the 4th. In the year of our Lord 2024, block height is 846,562. Shout out Zach Copley.
Price is about 70,000.
I know. I'm hoping it hits 70 during the show.
It was 70 a second ago. We're doing good.
Oh, was it tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a minute ago when I walked in.
Oh man, I was volunteering at my church. I guess I could have put a little more in the offering plate.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know I was rich.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully we're still holding at 70. What's the Bitcoin update?
Let's see. Not much of a Bitcoin update. I'm just still concerned about last week about how we have a presidential front runner talking about how he loves Bitcoin and now he's convicted of 34 felonies. But other than that, we're still holding strong, man.
34 times 2 is 68. And that was the price of Bitcoin when he got convicted. So if you don't think they're related, you're not paying attention.
Wake up, people.
Yeah, wake up, people. It's important. I did see a funny tweet from Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Oh, I have a story about
it. Just said hodl.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, and someone was like, I love that Warren Buffett's first tweet since whenever. It was a Photoshop. Yeah. But Elon liked it and retweeted it. And then his own company, X, had all the community guidelines. Like this image has been Photoshopped and is not real. So
there was actually, speaking of Warren Buffett, there was this weird glitch, quote unquote glitch, where
I hate when that happens.
If you look at the Berkshire Hathaway stock price, which is Warren Buffett's baby, right? It was going along. I think it was either yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. It dropped like 99%. Like it looked like some kind of meme coin, like something called like Grant coin or something like that. And it just dropped straight down 99%. Everybody's like, well, it's over. Like buy Bitcoin.
Well, and then is that why the Roaring Kitty played the Uno card? Did you see that?
Yeah. Did you see like he's up like 84 million in unrealized gains or something?
Yeah. He's like still holding on to Gamestop. It's just hilarious.
That's an ideological battle he's waging.
So playing the Uno card repeat is basically like, let's do this again.
Right. Because everybody knows that of the last GameStop saga.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Basically all these hedge funds were shorting the stock of GameStop. Because they knew that GameStop was like a blockbuster type business. And they knew, hey, no one's going to go buy a physical game anymore. They're going to download it, right?
He forgot about Wall Street Bets.
He forgot about Roaring Kitty, the man. And he said, hey, they have all these shorts on there. If we jack this price up of GameStop stock to a certain level, it's like, I don't know if people, I don't want to get into the intricacies of interest.
Dude, don't ask the homeschooler.
Into the details intricacies of how shorts work. But basically, if a stock price rose to a certain amount, these hedge funds owe like $500 million or like $2 billion, like something crazy. And they actually sank a hedge fund in the last one.
Yeah, I watched it. It was like one of the most entertaining days.
It was crazy
in the world.
And they're like, wait a minute, Roaring Kitty sank our hedge fund?
Did you watch him talk to Congress? It was so good.
Yeah, they're like, why were you buying this stock? It's clearly doesn't have value. Why were you doing that? He's like, I like the stock.
Yeah, I know. It's so great.
But now he's running it back. I think he noticed that these shorts were piling up again. This opportunity was coming again. And then he posted a meme on Twitter, an image on Twitter for the first time in like 3 years or something like that. It's his first post since then. And it's just a picture of a man sitting at a desk and then another picture of the same man like leaning forward.
And then the Uno card.
And then the Uno card, like run it back. And then he posted on Reddit what his actual positions are against on GameStop. And they realized like this guy has hundreds of millions of dollars loaded up.
He's just floating the company.
He's floating the company.
What if you're the CEO of GameStop?
I don't know what you do.
The CEO of like a meme company.
I don't know, because you're just going along trying to not die, and next thing you know, your stock is up 250%. Man. What do you do because of a kitty?
Does the kitty still own AME?
I don't know. AMC. That was the other one.
GME and AMC. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. It's for those who don't know, getting out of the stock terminology, this is basically an ideological battle against the common man versus the big hedge funds. And the group of common men feel like the hedge funds are making all this money off the backs of the little man, not providing any value. And they said, hey, we have a chance to fight back if we band together.
And they did it.
And they did it. And so they might do it again. We'll see.
70,781 price of Bitcoin.
When are we going to see like a Strength Co coin?
Someone made one.
What?
Yeah, someone made one in like 2020 when everyone was bored. Strength coin. I forgot how many he made. I don't know how you create them, but it exists.
You just find a nerd.
Yeah, it was a nerd for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Akash. Hey. So Akash, if you're listening to this, I want my strength coins.
Yeah, what you do, here's the game. Here's what you do.
Stop.
GameStop. What you do is you create strength coin. You don't tell anybody. You airdrop a bunch of coins of strength coin to your friends who are in on the game. And then you announce, hey, we've got this great new coin. It's going to go to the moon. Don't you want to get strong? Strength is important. Why not be strong and rich? Buy strength coin. You pump out the marketing, the thing moons. And then what you do is you and all your friends who have all this preloaded strength coin just dump on the market that all just bought your coin, your scam coin. And then you just get rich.
Aren't those called altcoins?
That's the nice name for them.
That's the PG friendly, name. Some people might call them poop coins.
Yes.
Rhymes with quit
and bit
and
here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we are. So there's your crypto update. No need to listen to Wall Street Journal, to listen to these fancy bloggers, these Miami grifters. Mm-hmm. Speaking of grifters. So Ripito did that video on, weigh your plates.
Dude, that smoked.
Yeah. Well, our version did, but so it's weigh your plates. Go check it out on YouTube on the Starting Strength channel. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. And he basically says, hey, plates are often inaccurate. And he talks about how some weigh more than others. And he's not even, the guy knows what he's doing, but it's not like, it's a Strength Co advertisement, but it's not like he's not necessarily trying. No. He's like, with the plates we use, and he says, Strength Co plates are dead ass on the money.
It's a good point, though.
Great point. So we just take it, condense it down to a minute, put some cool B-roll on it, and post it, and it goes viral on Instagram. Actually, on every platform, it went well above average. On Instagram, I always say you got to get 1 million to get viral. I think it's like 750,000. It'll hit it.
What?
Yeah, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But like TikTok, it got like 50,000. YouTube, it did like 20,000 as a short. These are all yesterday's numbers. I haven't looked today.
I'm looking right now.
Maybe it's 250 on Instagram. I can't remember. We just have so many viral vids. It's hard to keep them all straight.
It's about to hit 200.
200. Okay. I was way off saying 750. But anyway, have you read the comments?
No.
Oh, it's like people are upset. Like, yeah. There's some people being funny. So you're telling me my 225 pound bench is actually 315. That was like the comment I pinned. I think it has like 600 likes, but now no one believes my numbers anymore because I was off by the views. But yeah, a bunch of people were calling me a grifter and a shill. Like, or I guess technically they're saying Ripito is a shill, but it's commenting on my account. I don't know.
I think technically you would be the grifter because you are gaining off of someone else's content and you're just repackaging it.
Isn't that the name of the game?
It's exactly the name of the game. Grift is just a pejorative term of, hey, share the good news.
Hey, you know what I like to say?
What was that?
Grift or be grifted.
That's the truth, baby.
You have to. Speaking of which, the puffy jacket will not die. I was listening to the Mastonomics podcast. They had Coop from Garage Gym Reviews on.
I saw that. I wanted to listen.
You should. We need to pull some clips from it. It's pretty funny. He talks about like me specifically and the Strength Co a couple different times. And he's like, talk about a guy that just will not let a joke die. He makes like one meme, then he makes a video, then he makes another video, then he makes another meme, then he makes a t-shirt, then he makes a sticker. And I was like, that's the name of the game. That's what we're here to do.
It's just called smart.
You talk about us, we're going to grab it and use it to our advantage. You don't talk about us, we're going to grab it and use it to our advantage.
Yeah, Greg Doucette.
Yeah, Greg Doucette. You do anything.
He's a grifter.
In China, we're going to make fun of it.
Yeah, he's like the king grifter. If anybody's grifting,
why don't you call him Coach Greg?
Coach Greg here.
I can't.
Coach Greg, hey, how you doing?
I'd have to be at the bottom of the content well to react to that video.
He like his whole channel is built on calling out other famous people in the strength community.
Well, and he's just the algorithm guy. So he has 3 videos about benching 315.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, this works.
He has no preference for like, hey, what's informative to people? He's like, what is doing well? I'm going to do that.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're clickbait artists. I would just say there's one rule, and that's that your head has to be giant on the thumbnail. We didn't make the rules.
Giant on big face.
And fire.
And might as well throw a Bitcoin on there.
Yeah. Ooh, we should do that on a Strength Co video.
Yeah.
Just give me laser eyes on one of them.
Yeah.
Or just give me laser eyes on this one.
But you know what? The people see that and they know what it stands for and they say, I like this. So
I like that.
Is it really clickbait if they benefit?
That's what I'm saying. When I saw Sean Baker with laser eyes, I'm in. I'm eating carnivore. World Carnivore Month. Sign me up. Nothing but meat for me.
What did the Massonomics guys say about the whole joke?
Which one? Coop? Oh, well, so he kind of got like in... not hot water, but people were bashing him for not going to Home Gym Con. So a couple weeks ago, they had a home gym conference in Fritchlick, Indiana. He didn't go, and all the home gym people were upset about it, for different reasons. And so he came out with a video where he answered some different questions, and they were like, I want Coop back. The one guy named Tim, I want Coop back. I want Coop back. I want the way it used to be. And he's like, hey, basically he's like, hey, yeah, I make mistakes. We make a lot of videos. And then he's like, yeah, I didn't like not go because I hated the home gym community. But do you guys like realize that these are my competitors?
Right.
Like they're my direct competitors. Like they're literally doing the same thing I'm doing against me. So I'm not saying I'll never go, but I'm not really excited to go to my competitor's event. I mean, I thought his video was fine. I thought it was fine. It's just hard to tell how things come off as videos. I've always had good conversations with him. When he talks about Rogue a lot, I'm like, come on. But I'll tell you, you should listen to the Mass podcast. Because I finished, I was like, he's not the worst guy in the world. Like he's out there trying to make a business and $1 like anybody else.
I got nothing against Coop. I watched some of his videos.
So like him or hate him.
Yeah.
He is the OG in this space.
He is.
Everyone is copying him.
Right.
And that's okay. You can copy. Like clearly there's a need for home gym content. Like I'm not saying you can't, but he's the guy with 500,000 subscribers.
He's the guy. And I think it's probably to the point. It's sort of like when Trump didn't go to the first Republican debate, everybody's like, why didn't he go? He's like, I don't need to.
Yeah.
And like Coop probably doesn't even need to go to Home Gym Con.
Yeah, probably not. I think he was in something in Europe anyway. Or maybe like the week before. I can't remember. I only get into the drama if I'm somehow going to benefit off the drama.
Right.
Besides that, like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah. You need a home gym.
Yeah. Then I can get into the drama. All right. Let's get these guys in here. All right. Episode 024 of the...
Okay.
It sounds like there's a voice missing.
Yeah.
Did we not sound loud enough, Trey?
I feel like there was one missing.
Yeah, something's off. Oh, Jeff's not here.
I literally checked my microphone.
Oh yeah, no.
He's like, "Is my mic okay?
Yeah, is my mic good?
Is my mic okay?" Yeah. So welcome back. Jeffrey Biggie, Major Jeff Biggie, United States Marine Corps. Is not here tonight because he's doing Marine Corps things. And so that's why we're recording a week early because the show's got to go on. But we got Trey here from Oklahoma. So he's going to miss out on a bunch of good stuff.
We got thank you for your service.
We got so many good topics. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Trey, you want to sign us off? Yeah.
Who's driving this bus tonight?
Yeah,
driving this bus.
We didn't really talk about that. Do you have the list in front of you?
Oh no, I can get it.
No, we can just go off the cuff. First, why don't we get a dad update followed by a training update?
Training update's gonna be real short.
Okay.
Busy week this week. So training,
classic old excuse.
Training's been light. Dad update. No, dude, everybody's doing good, man. It's twins are starting to sleep a little bit longer, eating a little bit more. So it's starting to get a little bit going up to like 4 to 5 hours a night instead of 3 in between feeding breaks. So
all right,
it's like a typical
healthy,
night's
wealthy,
sleep.
and wise.
Yeah, doing good, man.
I feel like you shopped my store in 2020, didn't you?
Probably.
Okay. Do you remember the "Training Continues" slogan that I trademarked?
I've seen it around.
I feel like you had the shirt, but maybe you didn't. But I feel like I need to remake that shirt and send you one. Training continues because it was like the gym. It was like the gyms are closed. Build a home gym. We'll bring it to you. Yeah. Training continues.
Do you want to hear my excuse this week?
Oh yeah.
So I'm doing some remodeling upstairs. We're getting some built-ins put in, and so they're using the garage for painting, and so it's just everything's covered in plastic right now. Not a great excuse, but I'm sticking to it.
That's not bad. You know what would go viral though on the Strength Co. YouTube?
What's that?
You inside the rack underneath the plastic as people were painting, wearing a mask, squatting 225 for reps.
Can't breathe.
Dad must get his lifts in. Don't worry, there's no lead in this paint. It's all good.
That would go viral.
That would go viral.
Yeah. We'll think about it.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Especially
I'll see if I can get
out.
Let's see if I get AI. I'll get AI to generate that.
Yeah. Let me just type that up real quick.
Yeah, I'll do a GrantBot and see if you can generate an image.
Hey, make me an image of a guy in Frisco, Texas, squatting 225 with a mask on.
Very specific.
Now cover him in plastic. Okay, now surround him with workers with paint guns. Okay, good. Paint it black.
Viral.
I can see it now. And you get like
a great video.
You get to like rep 8, you're breathing heavy. You get to rep 9, you barely get it. Rep 10, you just pass out, face flat on the ground, blackout screen. The Strength Co. Training continues.
You also, I don't count past 5 when it comes to reps, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
My guy.
That's cardio.
My guy. So I'm gonna guess since you haven't been able to hit the weights, you've been running around that beautiful little lake in front of your house.
We've been getting some walks in, some solid walks in.
Oh yeah, you gotta take those babies out.
Yeah, get some vitamin D.
You got those babies in like a Molly onesie, so you can just.
No, I saw that tactical baby gear. Did you see they sell a Molly?
I've seen it all.
Baby carrier.
I've seen it all.
That might be a bit much. I don't know.
Hey man,
is it?
I'm like January 6, 2024. you could have an AR-15, like 6 mags and a baby on your back protecting your 6.
Dude, 6 baby.
You can't afford not to.
That's true.
You have to do it.
If they made one for twins.
Actually, new idea. Strength Co. branded Molly gear.
Easier. We can just make patches that just get Velcroed on to existing Molly gear.
What's the weirdest? I would actually be pretty good. What's the weirdest thing? Someone's like, "Oh, hey, Grant, you should make this."
I mean, Jeff once asked me if I could make a ship for the Navy. So that's probably the weirdest. But
he said not yet.
But was that in jest? Like, was he just joking?
Yeah. Well, because I was not complaining. I just said I think it's hilarious that everyone just thinks like I'm a titan of industry, and so like anything that is any type of metal or alloy, Grant, you should make this. So like a specialty bar, like a sideways hack trap bar. I mean, last time I was at Wichita Falls, Santana's like, you need to make these things out of aluminum. They're handles. So, and then they have a clamp and they go down. And so people can hold the bar here and squat. I'm like, 1, that doesn't feel very safe. And 2, I feel like that would kill my Mars bar sales. And 3, like, what do you think? I just have titanium or aluminum laying around?
What people don't know is this room is attached to a giant manufacturing steelworking plant.
Seriously.
And behind him is, I
would assume the hard part is not the manufacturing, but the storage of said equipment.
Right. And then behind that is the manufacturing.
Grant has a giant warehouse.
Yeah. All the equipment, everything.
Yeah. Oh, wait, but you were kind of being serious.
I was being serious. I would imagine
I actually do have 2 giant warehouses, and everyone's like, why don't you make squat racks? I'm like, you know how hard it is to keep all all right, so you get, let's say, an order of 45s, I think 972 fit on a truck. A truck's limited by 44,500 pounds.
Facts.
So 972 45s is going to be like 28 pallets. And we got pallet racks on each side, top to bottom, 2 deep on some side. But 28 pallets takes up a lot of space quick, even if you're going vertical. I like to say your quality of life is based upon the amount of warehouse life. The quality of warehouse life is based on the number of horizontal surfaces you have so you can store stuff. But here's the interesting thing. You want to know what 972 45-pound boxes looks like?
No.
8 feet tall pallets. And so then you have to have the plastic bag, put them in. So all of a sudden it's a bunch of stuff. But Grant, 25% off a flag for Memorial Day. What is this? It should be 25% off plates plus a free flag when I place my order.
Did you get that?
Oh yeah. Get them all the time. People are insulted by that. I said, This is why I don't do sales. If you're shopping for Strait Coat plates, Strait Coat powered, or OK Podcast powered by Strait Coat, prices are going up like the price of Bitcoin soon. And this is not a threat. It's not an empty threat. It's inflation. I don't know if you watch what's going on in the country, but the cost of living is going up, and so am I.
Going up 34%.
Not that much, but it's going up. So get it while you can, when you can.
Not Grant's fault.
Not my fault.
Hey, call your congressman.
Yeah.
Call your local congressman.
Call him up. I'm sure he knows a lot.
Yeah. He did it.
Call the woman running for the Secretary of Treasury in Missouri.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen her, Trey?
No.
Is she the one with the AR-15 jogging with
She'll
the
be
rug?
Jogging through a gay neighborhood and then being like, the only thing worse than being gay is being weak and gay. And then it cuts to her. This is a real ad, a real political ad. And then it cuts to her with an AR-15 and 5'11" pants. And she's like, I'm whoever running for the Secretary of Treasury of Missouri. I'm like, what? What did I just watch?
I don't know what happened, but I was entertained.
She got my vote.
A lot of this stuff is crazy. What was I watching? Oh, I was watching today. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
MGT. Georgia Congresswoman. Can't stand. But she's yelling about how the left started lockdowns, which I'm like, actually, the right definitely started lockdowns, but whatever. Fauci should be in jail, all this stuff. And then she's dropping F-bomb, saying S-H-I-T, F-bomb again, and then saying and then she's saying, and you guys say I serve Donald Trump? I serve Jesus Christ and God Almighty in heaven. I'm like, really? With that mouth? All right. They're very well. I just thought it was funny. It was like a manic episode. Live.
She's like this space laser lady, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
she's a little bit out there.
A little bit? Aluminum foil hat.
Who's voting for this girl? That's what I want to know.
Apparently the great people of Georgia.
Georgia.
Every time I bring up a crazy politician or a scandal, people always say to me, yeah, but he's going to get reelected. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Next week's guest, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, actually,
we talked to her about CrossFit.
Actually, next week's guest is going to be Alex Jones because the feds are coming after his studio. They were raiding it and shutting it down.
Now, did the feds say that or did Alex Jones say that?
That's a great question. Twitter said that to me, but
then you know it's true.
And he apparently he slept in the studio. He's like, I'm not leaving. And then I think they're coming after him though. Might be his last episode.
Alex Jones.
So he's free for the next week.
So someone made a song of a Alex Jones compilation of all the stuff he said, but put it to music.
He said a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Did someone post that in the Slack, by the way?
So someone posted in the Slack, get on Slack, $29 a month. We actually have all types of political views.
That's true.
Yeah. And someone posted in the Slack, and then someone during a Zoom class was talking about it. And so I share music in the class. So if you're looking for live coaching, check out my coaching service. It's a private small group. Seriously, we vet you. If I don't like you, you don't get in. That's just the way it goes. But you come in, it's actually pretty cool.
It's a vibe.
A lot of business owners. I learned so much. Not about lifting, coaching that class. But one of the things I do, Zoom has this cool feature where you can share audio. So everyone has headphones in. It'll be like Trey squat, Jordy squat, Grant squat, Bill squat. Then everyone's kind of resting and there'll be banter, business talk, whatever. And then when someone squats, I'll turn the music back up. So this guy likes Metallica. This guy likes Waylon Jennings, right? And it just kind of makes it like a little bit easier so you can't hear people fart and burp and stuff.
It's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, someone was like, hey, play that song that was posted in Slack. So I played it. And a lot of times what I'll do is on my QuickTime player, I'll just hit screen record and I'll record it. And then I'll just tweet the video, and I'll be like, Monday morning deadlifts, just some kind of motivation. Anyway, I just gotten to like 7,100 followers. And I posted that video and I didn't even think that the sound was playing. I did it like during the class, like quick, boom, trim down, post.
Yeah.
And then like that afternoon I had like 100 followers. And I was like, what happened? And like, I'm looking, I'm like, did someone like dog me on X? Like, is someone saying like I'm a fraud? Like what? And then the only thing I could tie it to was like, oh, people got offended by that Alex Jones.
The Alex Jones fan.
Wait a minute.
That I didn't even know was playing in the background.
Wait a minute.
Oh, geez.
Fantastic. All right. Let me do Jeff's job.
We got to talk about the Caitlin Clark getting shoved.
Oh yeah. We can do that. Did you
see
that?
I saw the clip of it. I didn't watch it live, of course.
Yeah. I haven't watched any WNBA live, but all that's on Sports Center, and not even like, I don't even watch ESPN Sports Center that much, to be honest. I like get most of my sports news from X.
Yeah.
But it's all over the Sports Center ESPN. And yeah, so she gets shoved by,
I don't know her name.
Last name starts with a C. And Angel Reese goes crazy on the sideline, celebrating her getting knocked down. And then the person gets a flagrant. Clark hits the thing. And then like the post-game conference, that player that hit her was like, I don't even know why people get so excited about Caitlin Clark. She can't do anything but shoot threes. And Portnoy had a pretty good like riff on it. Cause like before this year, they all flew commercial.
Yeah.
And now they're flying in private jets. Nice. Because like there's enough money.
Nice.
And so he just like played the clip like on a loop and he's like, make her fly commercial. And it was like so stupid, but I had a good belly laugh.
Was it unsportsmanlike conduct, or was it just typical sort of hazing? Like, hey, welcome to the WNBA.
I think it's a little bit of jealousy, personally.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's 100% jealousy. And what my problem with it is, it's like people that hate on CrossFit. And
Jim DeNova.
Yeah, I mean, he likes CrossFit, but if you're in my space and you're selling equipment, why am I going to hate on CrossFit? Use my bumpers however you want.
Hey, once they leave the warehouse,
or if you're just a fitness coach, it's like, hey, I want more people working out with barbells because then maybe I can convince them into strength training. So maybe that's not a great analogy, but I don't understand if I'm a WNBA player and no one's ever talked about my sport and I'm a professional athlete.
Right.
And this girl comes in and all of a sudden I'm all over the news, but I'm all over the news because of her. And she's on the news more than me. I don't care because like I'm now being televised. Like there's more money in the sport, but
yeah, if like a famous CrossFit gym opened up in Greenville, South Carolina, and all these people wanted to start getting into barbell training, you're not mad about that.
Yeah. Or they just want to use strength co plates.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They might need some bars. They might need some equipment.
Yeah.
And just in general, more people are getting strong. Isn't that what we're trying to do?
Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing here.
Amen.
Good. So I think we'll transition as we always do. We cover women's sports first because this is a pro women's podcast. Look at the analytics every week. We get, 3 people that listen. 2 of them are men, and the woman is my mother. But we care about that 33%, and we're going to cater to them. Although my mother probably doesn't like the WNBA, but we'll roll from WNBA to NBA. And first thing on the list, now that I'm the slide guy, is the NBA Finals predictions. Jeff put his in here? Do you want me to tell you his now, or do you want to talk about it?
No, tell me his.
Okay. Do we want to talk about the series at all first?
Let's talk about the series first, and then I'd say let's get into it.
All right, you hit it first.
So, dude, I was surprised. I'll kind of dab into the NHL a little bit. If you were to told me like, hey, one of these teams is going to make it to the finals between the Mavericks and the Stars, I would have picked the Stars. I thought they were a good team. So the Mavericks getting this far, I was kind of surprised about, just because I didn't think they were that deep. But then Luka started going off. So they're a fun team to watch now for sure. But I think the Celtics, man, are just like top to bottom. Everyone's playing well. What's their star's name? Like their number one guy. Tatum is just a stud. I just think they're a complete team, kind of top to bottom. And then Mavericks, like I said, besides Luka, who's phenomenal, and Kyrie Irving, who's playing great as well.
Old Kyrie is back.
Yeah, man. It's just like they're both of them are fun to watch. And if they're both on hitting everything, they're hard to beat. But I think Boston's just too good of a team, man. Just top to bottom.
So I'm definitely biased as a Celtics fan. I actually think Tatum is a star. I don't think maybe he's a superstar, but I do think that Boston's greatest, their defense, but it's like Tatum will hang 32 and there'll be like 2 other guys that did 26 and 28, and, there are tons of assists. They play great defensively. I think they're great. They do have a problem with late in games, letting leads slip away. And so that's why I personally think, and people will hate this, like people that really watch NBA, I think Luka's the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, I think some people would say it's Jokic, but Luka, if he's incredible. Like, so I think Luka, and then Kyrie is a champion, right? He's won before. Yeah. He's got a beef with Boston. He stomped on Lucky's head. I think he wants to prove something. So
who's a bad team? I would like, let's say like Portland Trailblazers. I think if Tatum went to like a bad team, I think he would be considered a superstar. I don't think Boston's, the way they play is not conducive to having a superstar. It's
which I personally like. It's team ball.
Yeah, dude. It's just fun to watch.
It's like way more fun to watch. Yeah, no, I agree. But I just think like, it's late in the game, and it's not just like, feed LeBron, feed Tatum. It's get it out to Derek White. Al Horford will hit a random 3. It's deep. I think if KP, we'll just call him KP. If he's back, which he should be back, I think Boston wins the series. Jeff says 4-2 Celtics. So in 6 games. I think it should be 4-2 Celtics, but I think the NBA wants 7 games. I think Kyrie Irving in Boston. Obviously they want 7 games, but I'm not saying it's rigged. But I think the Kyrie Irving and Boston conflict is going to fire the Mavs up, and I think it's Boston 4-3.
See,
I think it's going to go to 7. I don't want it to. Banner 18, you pass the Lakers in the most banners. You win the first one since 2008. It would be the 3rd since 1986. So you have 17 banners prior, 15 banners prior to 86. 86 was number 16, and then nothing until 2008. So like it would actually, I know everyone gets mad because the Patriots were good for so long, but like it would be huge for the Celtics to win one. But I think it's going to go 7 games.
It starts off in Boston, right? First 2 games in Boston, I believe.
Yeah, Boston, Dallas, Dallas. Boston, Dallas,
Boston. Yeah. I don't think it goes to 7. I think Boston takes the first 2. Dallas takes the first game in Dallas. Boston takes the next one, and then they win at Boston. I think it goes. Was that 5 games?
Yeah,
I think it goes 5 games. Boston wins. Dallas takes one of them. I just think Boston's that good, man.
Yeah, I think Boston drops.
And I low key like the Mavericks. Like I live in Dallas.
I mean, you would like. You like. Because I would be happy is probably the only reason you'd pull for the Celtics. Like, it's like my brother. Like when the Hawks were playing. He's like, I don't really like the Hawks, but I've lived in Atlanta for 15 years.
Yeah, it's like I might as well go for them. Yeah. It's like I root for the Mavericks and whenever I watch them, but like, I don't know. I won't lose sleep over it,
you're saying Boston in 5?
Yeah. I think it's going to be that quick.
Jeff's saying Boston in 6. I'm saying Boston in 7. You've been to an NBA playoff game.
Have you really?
Yeah.
With me.
With him.
We went last year. He was in Miami. Boston went down 0-3 to Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. And so ticket prices plummeted.
Okay.
And I'm going. Like,
was this content grant or was it just regular grant going to see a game?
Is there a difference in the two? I'll explain that in a second. So I'm like, D, let's go. So we buy him like direct flight to Miami. We can hang with Jordy. And the next day we can shoot a YouTube video in his high-rise apartment. And I've never been to Miami and you've never been to Miami.
No.
And everyone speaks Spanish there. So let's go.
Ooh.
And so I tell Jordy like, hey, we're coming.
I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, we're going to the game. I think tickets were like $320.
That's not bad. Wait, for both of them?
No, for one
each.
Ticket.
Okay. Which is still, for a playoff game, it's really good.
Yeah. So but for a finals game, I mean, but Boston's down 0-3, whatever. I would think if I'm a Miami fan, I'm dying to get in there, win, and go to the finals while I'm at home in Miami. But anyway, so I kind of think Jordy's going to be like, hey, I'll catch up with you guys after the game. And I'm like, hey, I'm buying tickets. Any chance you want to go? He's like, yeah, count me in. And I'm like, I don't know Jordy that well.
Jordy loves sports.
Dude, they're $323. He's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Just tell me what to Venmo you. I was like, cool. And so, yeah, we went. I swear I was like, what, one of 10 people wearing a Celtics jersey?
There's probably 3 green jerseys in just a sea of.
Were they chirping at you?
Oh, yeah. Well, they were chirping at me in the airport. Like in the airport in Miami was definitely the most chirping. The airport in Greenville, for whatever reason, people were like, oh, man, you got some balls wearing that jersey. I'm rooting for you. Go Celtics. And I loved it, right? I'm like, yeah, chirp, 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 chirp. And Diana's like, can you just shut up? But yeah, we went and Boston won. And so if you remember,
it's a huge upset.
That went to 7 games.
Yeah.
And went back to Boston for a chance to win it. No NBA teams
Miami
ever won when down 0-3. And Jimmy Butler did Jimmy Butler things. But so anyway, what's your prediction?
I think Celtics win everything. Why not?
So the Celtics win in 4?
Yeah. They're just
4-0.
Just
Sweep, baby. Sweep.
Hey, that's the only, I guess we all said Celtics, but we all just said we each have a different number. Okay.
We said 7-6-5-4.
Yeah. I'm going max Celtics.
All right.
What a true fan. What a true Celtics fan over here.
Get the brooms out. Get the brooms out, Jordy. Let's see here.
I guess you want to do a quick NHL? Might as well.
How much I hate the Panthers?
You hate the Panthers, okay. And then
you take it from there.
Is it Panthers versus
Oilers? Yeah,
Oilers, right? I don't know why I thought the Rangers won.
No, Panthers beat the Rangers.
Yeah.
In 7. And the Oilers won, right?
Yeah, Oilers beat the Stars in 6.
Yeah. So it's Oilers, Panthers. I hate the Panthers.
So we're both Canadian on this, right?
So I'm Canadian all the way. My Canadian listeners, if you don't know Strength Co plates, now's the time to buy them because I'm your biggest fan. Text me or DM the Strength Co. and say, I hate the Oilers, and I will send you a coupon code.
I hate the Panthers. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No sales.
Wait,
unless.
can you fix that? I hate the Panthers. I too hate the Panthers, and I live in Canada. Boom.
We'll get it in post. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I think Panthers, as much as I hate them, I think they're just a good playoff team. So I think that one could go to 7, but I think Panthers end up taking it.
I'll say Oilers in 7.
Okay.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Me?
Oilers sweep, right?
Yeah, sweep, dude.
Oilers
I'm
sweep.
pro sweep over here.
Big sweep guy. Get this stuff off of TV so we can talk about something else in the podcast, please.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Get your earths ready. Yeah.
That's my answer. Who's better? Sweep them.
It's actually time for a Jordy segment. Jeff, RIP for the FDO downrange, posted that Tyson Ulcer forced to postpone bout versus Paul. That was on July 20th.
For how long?
Well,
TBD.
PJ's the expert here.
TBD. So I guess Tyson was on a flight, had some kind of medical issue. Turns out it was some. Who knows what the truth is? Little tummy ache. Little.
Probably had COVID.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there, everyone.
Little tummy ache. Turns out it was some ulcer problem. Who knows if that's the truth? But he had some ulcer problem, and the doctor, you know how much we like doctors, said, hey man, no heavy training for like several weeks now, or maybe a couple months.
He should have called Caleb Gottlich.
Yeah.
Would have told him to deadlift 515.
He said he would have said, take it easy, nothing crazy, maybe just 500 for 3 sets of 5.
Yeah, smooth.
He would have given a very doctor answer about movement on the sagittal plane versus, non-symmetrical
Loading.
movement.
Yeah.
And you would have been like, oh, this guy hates deadlift. And then he'd be like, yeah, I deadlift heavy. I deadlift 515. You'd be like, wait, what? So,
therefore, deadlift 515.
I mean, that was the answer.
Typical doctor.
He gave that long answer. And I said, so do you deadlift? Yes. Do you deadlift heavy? Yes. Do you deadlift over sets of 5? No. Okay. So you believe in strength training. I said, don't load the sagittal plane incorrectly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know.
We know.
That's every conversation I had with him. Love the kid, but
yeah.
Oof.
Glad he's a real doctor though. I still feel bad.
Well, that's what he's like. I got to use that to let people know I'm a real time doctor. I'm like
real doctor, not a fake doctor.
Yeah, not a fake doctor.
No.
So TBD.
So basically, they said, hey, Tyson basically can't train for a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
There's no way he can prepare for the fight, and they're all just like, hey, why don't you? There's no way I'd want to fight a untrained fighter. That's not even fair. That's not fair to the fans.
Is that what Paul's camp is saying?
Yeah. We want to make it fair, have it be a legit fight. We're going to postpone it until later in the year. There's no date set yet.
Do you know how much the purse is? Or is there a purse, or are they just both getting paid a certain amount?
I don't know what the purse is. It's going to be streamed live on Netflix. I bet it's some kind of deal where, since it's on Netflix, I don't think it's going to be a pay-per-view. I bet Netflix is just paying them a fixed rate and hoping they're going to make it up.
I'd be curious. I remember the last boxing match I watched was when we were in Grant, Jeff. Some other people went to Big Bear.
Oh, I thought this was a podcast.
No, we watched
Floyd Mayweather.
That's it. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was the last boxing match I went. And I feel like that purse was like
big,
100 million. Like I might be like, I thought it was that big.
I was going to say, I don't see how these guys don't make. I mean, I would think the lowest is 50 million each.
Oh, for like a big time fight.
For this fight, like for the Netflix deal. Like I mean,
dude,
I don't
it's
see
gotta
them.
Be.
I don't see them doing this at under 50 million.
So that fight, biggest payday in sports. Pacquiao would have agreed 80 million, or would take home 80 million. And Mayweather would get 120 million.
Yeah.
Floyd Money Mayweather, baby.
Dude.
He won, right? Didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
He did win.
He definitely won.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be delayed. I still just don't have I've said before on previous episodes, if you've been listening, this is a test, see if you've been listening. I've said before that
we're going to the moon.
Well, yeah, everyone knows that though. I don't need to say that again. 71. It's at 71. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Live on show. Shout out Zach Copley.
Thanks,
okay.
I've said before, I'm pulling for Tyson in this one. I'm hoping he shows up. But I'm just really confused by Jake Paul doing this because it's a lose-lose for him. I mean, now besides the purse, right? Besides the money, which is a big factor. But if he loses the fight, everyone's going to say, dude, you lost to an old man. And if he wins the fight, they're going to go, dude, you beat up on an old man.
So
like, what's the big deal?
Do you think his popularity is so big that becoming more famous is not some of what's worth?
There's, you know what? Hot take of the podcast. This could be his last fight. Who knows? Maybe it's just maybe it's one giant cash grab before he goes out. I feel like this damages his reputation. It's like he's cashing in on his Jake Paul reputation, my opinion.
But Jake Paul's more than just a fighter, right? He's like a brand.
Yeah.
Okay. So
lately he's a fighter.
Here's what I would say that I think is a win for him is boomers. Boomers don't know who Jake Paul is.
True.
My parents don't know who Jake Paul is. That's not just because they're Southern Baptists. They just have no idea who Jake Paul is. They know who Mike Tyson is.
Partly because they're Southern Baptists.
Well, partly, but like I will tell you, I watched Tyson Holyfield with my dad at our neighbor's house. And my dad doesn't even like watch sports. And we ate buffalo chicken dip and it was great.
Mike Tyson, he was a phenomenon though.
He was beyond
boxing fans.
I think like, I don't know. I think Paul, and I don't know, like I don't follow fighting super close, but I feel like Paul fighting Tyson, especially if he beats him, but even if he doesn't, one, the purse and cash out, be done fighting, win or lose. Two, if you win, whether people say you beat an old man or not, everyone knows who Mike Tyson is.
Right. It's just it's an awareness thing, like no bad press sort of concept.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's true.
Maybe he's a grifter.
Oh, he's king grifter.
Grifter be grifted.
His whole thing is fighting old or retired fighters, sometimes not even boxers.
Who else has he fought?
Anderson Silva.
So he does UFC stuff too.
He's fought UFC fighters. What's the guy? I'm blanking on his name. He's a Bitcoin guy. He's a wrestler, big wrestler guy. Wow, I'll remember that in a few minutes here.
The Undertaker, The Rock.
Put it in the show notes.
Yeah. But he's fought like a lot of like retired guys for his fights. One time he fought a real boxer, he lost. And so it's like an experiment, and it's just pure branding. It's like, I'm going to not think about, if you want to say, quote unquote, the integrity of the sport of boxing to try to say, hey, what's a true good matchup for these people? He said, I'm going to figure out the biggest names, put those two people in a cage together or a ring together and cash in and draw some attention to it.
Was it Tyron Woodley?
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, no, I'm not
smart.
It's smart in terms of business, marketing, money, genius.
So there is some upside for Jake.
There's money for Jake.
I think that's all Jake's worried about.
I think it is. Yeah. But at the same time, though, I don't think the fight should happen. Like, how much? I think it's disgraceful. Like it's like disgraceful to Tyson.
How much would you have to pay, or how much would you have to get paid to get in a ring with Mike Tyson tomorrow?
Well,
what's the purse?
There's a number.
There's always a number for sure, but I'm not like a boxer trying to make my name for myself in the boxing community.
Don't worry, which means that your number's just higher.
Let's just say we'll just take the Manny Pacquiao purse, 80 million, right? That's what he got.
Yeah, would you take 80 million?
Oh,
I would take 10% of that and fight him right now in my living room. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, me too.
8 million?
Me too. I think it makes a difference though if I'm like trying to make a name for myself in boxing versus like, hey, take this random guy off the street and throw him in a cage with Mike Tyson, see what happens, right?
I don't want to out Jordy, but I want to see how much he wants to hodl. Would you take 8 million fiat or 8 Bitcoins?
What's 8 Bitcoins right now?
8 times 70?
570,000, 560,000, something like that. I think I'd take the 8 Bitcoin.
Seriously?
To the moon.
Wait.
Definitely take 80 Bitcoin.
Wait. I'm assuming in the rule, like you can't just like take the fiat and buy 8 million of Bitcoin, right?
Right. No,
that's cheating.
Get paid in Bitcoin or you get paid in fiat.
Oh no, the Bitcoin would be more. No, that's a better deal. That's a better deal.
My God.
That's a better deal.
Y'all are loyal.
Lunatics.
Pay me in nickels, dude. I don't care.
He's just such a legend. Mike Tyson's just such a legend that it's like fighting him out of his prime. It's like, what are you doing? Because like everyone agree. I think Jake would agree. Like prime Mike Tyson would murder Jake Paul. He'd murder everyone. And it's like fighting him out of his prime is like, dude, what are you doing?
He's a biter.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike Tyson agreed to it, so it's all voluntary, right?
Hey.
I mean, hey.
Good for him.
Grift or be grifted.
Grift or be grifted, the theme of this episode. I know we're going to talk.
How much would you have to get paid to get in a boxing ring with like a tiger?
Probably
5-minute round.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not saying Tyson couldn't kill me.
Yeah.
But I feel like a tiger would kill me in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
8 million. I do 5 million.
2 Bitcoin.
I could survive 5 minutes.
You just have to make it 5 minutes.
Just use like calm, soothing sounds. Yeah.
So we could stay on sports, but we might lose everyone.
True.
So I feel like we switch up the topics. We can either go to Canada fishing trip.
Oh.
Or George Strait, Chris Stapleton concert.
I want to hear about that first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So was this, have you been planning it or was it kind of?
I have never planned a single event in my life to include deployments.
Okay.
And my marriage.
Okay.
Or the birth of my child longer than I have planned this event. Longest planned event Grant's ever done ever. Dead serious. They played in Charlotte last June, and I was like, I'm going next year. So 12 months. I was like, boom, we're in. Was getting like 2 months later, because these things like sell out big time, like maybe August of last year.
Okay.
I texted my buddy Wade Coleman, Citadel grad, class of 09, potential sponsor. And his wife works for the Panthers. And when I say works, I mean she's the president. And I said, hey, wasn't thinking anything about tickets. I just said, hey, I'm buying tickets to Chris Stapleton, George Strait next year, June 1st. Can we stay with you that night? Because usually if we go to Charlotte, we go like crash at his house and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you can stay with me. How'd you like to sit in the box? And I was like, oh, cool. What box? He's like, the owner's box. Same one you're going to sit
Shut
in.
up.
He's like, same
okay.
one. He's like, same one you're going to sit in next week for South Carolina, North Carolina.
Oh my God.
Which we did. And the Gamecocks got crushed. And so boom, we locked it on. And so I didn't pay for tickets. I guess it's all about who you know.
Hey.
Anyway, yeah. So we went to that. And so Little Big Town opened up. Thoughts on Little Big Town, Trey?
They got some good stuff.
I'm not a huge fan.
Okay.
They're not terrible.
What do you like?
I can't even think of a song.
All I know is that pontoon boat song. Yeah.
Smoking dope like I'm supposed to.
Oh, is that it?
I don't know. It sounds like, based off what they look like, seems like what they were doing. So LBT, see what I did there?
Oh.
LBT was opening up. And I'm not saying they're bad, but it's not my style of country.
I would say that.
No, I'm going skill. Like they're good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking, I think they are talented that there's 4 of them. And if you told me who's the lead singer, I'd be like, all of them.
Is that not the case?
No, I think it is. I think they're like a team. They're like a team band. Usually it's like Trey Gottlich and the Wailers, and they're just like Little Big Town.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was
they're all married, right?
Like the famous ones they had was Girl Crush or Boondocks. Those were like famous songs.
Yeah,
they were like
Boondocks
viral for a while.
I don't even know Girl Crush. But anyway, they were opening. Didn't think much of that. Then you had Stapleton, and then you had Strait. Dude. So my brother went to this concert last August or something like that.
Yeah.
And his 2 sons, actually all his kids, are huge George Strait fans. Like the one that just graduated high school, like grew up in Georgia, huge George Strait fan. So my nephew, huge George Strait fan. And so they all go wanting to do George Strait, and they're like kind of disappointed because they're like, it's a Stapleton concert. And they're like, just so you know, it's a Stapleton concert. Like everyone there is there for Stapleton. And like George Strait even said, like, I feel like Stapleton's so good. He's like one of the guys I'm passing my hat to, is what they all told me. Cause they were telling me about it when I told them I was going at my nephew's graduation. In any event, I'm thinking in my mind, but I don't want to offend my nephew. Like, I love George Strait, like love George Strait.
Yeah.
But I kind of want it to be a Stapleton concert. Like if you ask me right now, Grant, get in your truck and put on music, I'm probably putting on a Chris Stapleton song before I'm putting on Amarillo by Morning. And so I'm like, great, Stapleton, like I'm all about it. I think he's like a real country, a little bit Southern rock.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. He's talented. His wife's, in his band, which is cool. Like watching them sing live, you could like, I always think it's cool when it's like couples and then you can tell like the song like means something. And, so Stapleton comes out and he's great. Now the box is a little bit different. It's like a little flatter. Right. Yeah. Because, there's like a congressman in there. There's like CEOs of companies in there. It's so you can't go in there wearing jean cutoffs and a cowboy hat.
Strength Co CEOs in there.
Yeah. Strength Co. Yeah. CEO. There you go. Thanks, man. I didn't even think of that. All kind of folks in there. But I'm just thinking like, oh, it doesn't seem like this crowd's like that ramped up for Stapleton. Awesome set. He sang Maggie's song. Which I didn't want him to sing. And he doesn't usually sing on his sets, but I guess his friend's dog just died like 3 days ago. So Maggie's song's about a dog dying. It's like super gut wrenching. So he sings that. He sings everything. Like he opens with White Horse, which is probably like his newest song that I like. And I'm like, this is the opener. We're in for a ride. Love it. Then George Strait comes on. And I mean, the amount of better that George Strait was performing on stage blew my mind.
Wow.
And I was like, is this because I know like every Stapleton song. I actually like, I have every single one of his albums on vinyl. I was a huge fan of the Steel Drivers in college. Like I know a lot of Stapleton and like a lot of the songs I'm like, oh, I know what this song is. Like apparently I know every word of every George Strait song. Like every single word. And then I'm like, he's such a performer. Not like Garth Brooks running around, but just like what he says in between songs. And I'm like, oh, this guy's been doing this for 50 years. And like on the Jumbotron, like every video is so choreographed perfectly. If he's singing Troubadour, it's like him when he's like 20. If he's singing about the police, it's like the Charlotte Fire Department and Police Department and George Strait singing.
Wow.
And so I'm watching it and I'm thinking like, man, he really is the king. Like George Strait really is the king. Here I am coming in not hoping, but thinking this is a Stapleton heavy concert and I'm happy about that. And as it's going on, I'm like, he's the king. And not only is the king, but he sings a Willie Nelson song and gives like a 10-minute tribute to Willie Nelson. Then he sings a Waylon Jennings song, and not only a Waylon Jennings song, like a DOG dog. And then he sings Johnny Cash, and he's like paying tribute to all these guys. And I'm thinking like, you don't have to pay tribute to anyone. Like you're 71 years old. You've been singing for 50 years.
He's got nothing to prove.
Yeah. And so when I say he's a better performer, Stapleton was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Stapleton.
It's not a knock on Stapleton. And it's not, I feel like when people say country music and performer in the same sentence, everyone thinks of Garth Brooks smashing a guitar. Like it's not that. It's just like, yeah, it was great. That's was great. Incredible. I actually put in the Slack while Stapleton was singing, Chris Stapleton concert, George Strait replaced ? If you check the timestamp, that was during the concert while Stapleton was playing. And then I was like, I should delete that. I was like, nah, we should talk about it.
Wow. I like his song. I Can Still Make Cheyenne.
Sang it.
Yeah. Gotta go now, baby. If I hurry, I can still make Cheyenne. I think that's the best, like, dude, like the girls always have their breakup songs. Like they're like, oh, I just played this Taylor Swift song and now I feel better. Or this Beyonce song. I think that's like the dude breakup song.
So yeah. Crazy George Strait story. My uncle, there's a famous dance hall in Texas called Green Hall down in New Braunfels.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
If you're like a Texas like performer, like country performer, like that's like one of the places that you have to play. It's kind of like Grand Ole Opry of Texas, I would say. So Green Hall, pretty big deal. So my dad's parents had like a river lot. They had a house on the river that my uncle stayed at and just bummed off them while he was going to college down there. So he's walking around New Braunfels and some guy comes up to him. He's like, hey, can you help me move a couple things? My buddy left. I need some help. And he's like, yeah, sure.
No way.
He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, so he helped him move some stuff. And then the guy's like, hey, I don't have any money, but here's a signed picture of me. I'm going to be pretty famous pretty soon. So I think he was packing up to like leave Texas and like go to Nashville or something like that. And it was George Strait. And my uncle was like, yeah, okay, guy. And threw away the picture because he's like,
threw it away?
Yeah, he doesn't have anymore.
Nice.
That's a great story. Yeah, it's as most people that know me know, I always say Texas is great on paper. I like to make fun of their football teams, like to make fun of their big skies, like to make fun of them that South Carolina was making barbecue while they were still Mexico. Like there's a lot I like to make fun of Texas, but when he sang "Take Me to Texas," I looked at D and was like, "Should we go?" Like, I'm in. Like, this sounds fantastic.
Are we going? That's
on
crazy.
the steel guitar, so and so from Amarillo, Texas. On the fiddle, Abby Gottlich from Frisco.
She did look, pretty similar.
She had the hair. It was the hair.
The hair.
She had the Abby Gottlich look. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Grant's like, I learn steel guitar.
Yeah, seriously. Can I learn steel guitar and be 65 so I can join his band?
Yeah, dude.
So, Dre, I'd be curious about your take on this. So, George Strait, a lot of big hits, great performer, big time country music star. I don't know how many song credit, like writing credits, he has to a lot of those songs.
Sure.
So, I think he has a lot of good writers write for him, and then he performs the heck out of them, right? Chris Stapleton, on the other hand, I think writes pretty much everything, including maybe some George Strait songs too. But then
it just doesn't. He just didn't write Tennessee Whiskey when you put him on the map.
Which is
true.
He started as a songwriter.
I know where you're
going. A performer. Stapleton.
I know where oh, so where are you going? What's more important?
I was saying, like, so people always say George Strait is like the king of country, right? Does he lose anything in your eyes if he doesn't write his own stuff?
Waylon Jennings said that Bob Wills is still the king the day that Willie Nelson moved to Austin. So in my mind, Bob Wills is still the king. But I think it's cool when country music singers write their own music. And if I don't like the country singer, I love to rip on the fact that they don't write their own music.
Okay.
I think George Strait or Chris Stapleton is more of like a well-rounded musician. Like he can sing, he can write, he can play. Obviously George Strait can play, but like also he's 71. But a lot of the songs he's like this on his guitar. You know, Chris Stapleton's like jamming out on G or whatever.
I think
it takes away, but George Strait is so good, and I think I think some of it's just generational. Like just watching that crowd in Charlotte, you know, it's like all the boomers were out.
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like I said, George, I'm going to hear your take on it, but like I think it takes some talent. You have to have an ear for whenever you hear like, hey, that's going to be a hit song. And then I choose that song to record. You know what I mean? Which I think George Strait did that. Garth Brooks did that too. He's kind of the same boat. But I don't know. What do you think, man?
I think it takes 0% away from George Strait. I mean, the fact that Grant doesn't hand make every single Strength Co. 45. Cat's out of the bag. Sorry to spoil that.
The phone.
Kind of do, but
kind of do. But the fact that he's not in his apartment forging steel, I don't think takes away from the Strength Co. brand. I think the ultimate test is what's the effect on people? What does it do? Like, how is this used by people? What's the benefit that you get from this artist or this art? The fact that he wrote it doesn't matter. The fact that he sang it is good. Like, it's like, what did he produce? What did he make happen? George Strait is a legend because he created a whole movement of people. And I don't think that the fact that he didn't write it matters. Even if you wrote your own song, how many songs were you influenced by that you kind of copied and stole from that you wrote your song? Like, who's doing this by themselves? Nobody.
True.
So, you know?
Hey,
Chris Stapleton, maybe.
Chris Stapleton. If we're gonna kick it back to yesteryear and say that George Strait was a founding father of country, I would say Hank Williams, Don Williams, Hank Williams Jr.,
Coffee Black,
Bob Wills,
Bob Wills, the king. But yeah, no, it was great. I mean, I don't have an opinion on who's better, who's worse. I can tell you right now, though, when I got in my truck today, I put on Chris Stapleton. Doesn't mean I don't like George Strait, but like that's like his music, because I like Skinner sounding stuff. You know, it's kind of like in that vein.
Yeah.
But apparently, I know every word of every George Strait song. At least everyone.
I think everybody does, man.
And he played for a long time, which was good. The only one I didn't know is he has a tequila, and so he wrote a song that's like a jingle to sell his tequila, like down in Mexico. And like, so he went off stage. You probably knew
by the end.
I did. Yeah, he did the fake encore, and then he came out and he sang about his tequila, and then talked about how you could buy it, and then he gave some veteran a house, and then he sang Amarillo by Morning, and then he sang Take Me to Texas, and then he sang like 10 more songs, and I was like, yeah, that was a really, really fake encore.
Wait, my last thought on that is just, hey, if you start to look at how many artists or singers or musicians, whatever, have had a 50, 60-year career, you get a short list of names. Yeah. You get a really short list.
Even Waylon Jennings died.
Yeah.
But
like you got
I
Willie
ain't
Nelson.
living long like this. And my baby.
Like you get like George Strait, maybe Willie Nelson. I'd say Stevie Wonder. Probably Michael Jackson because he started so young.
Probably Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
How did Jackson start young? What do you mean by that?
He started like 6 years old.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
Zing. I got you. Jeff's not here. Jeff's not here to get these jokes.
Jeff's not here to get all the jokes out.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I saw that. I was a little bit jealous.
It's incredible.
Cool thing was I left the box, and I see about the box is when you leave, you get to go down through the like I went through the Panthers gym. I stopped, took my photo in front of Jadeveon Clowney's locker. Saw the plates. I was pitching the plates to, the president of the Panthers, which means that any expense to get there now became a business write-off, which means it's free.
VW tax.
And as I'm leaving, it's where I'm headed. Like, boom, who do I run into? Chris Stapleton. And he's like, and the president's like, hey, this is Grant, CEO of the Strength Co. And he's like, I was listening to the OK podcast. Sounds like you sell plates in a lot of states and like taxes are tough to navigate. And I said, you know what, Chris? They are. And I could tell you about my friend BW, but I got someone better.
Hey there, listeners. Feeling lost in the maze of tax season? Let BW Tax Advisory Group be your guide. They specialize in guiding individuals and small businesses through the complex world of tax and accounting, using proactive financial planning and innovation. Say goodbye to tax season stress. Visit bwtaxllc.com to schedule your consultation today. Or else
the gabagool.
So I thought like I had him convinced, and he goes, I hate Springsteen. And I was like, oh, my bad. And so anyway, that was the end of that. I did take my photo. I did take my photo with Jadeveon Clowney, and I did run into like the event director, and they were like,
this is the real story.
This is a real story. And he's like, so we're like down on the field, like we're with the event director, and he's like giving like the play by play of how many people came and like seats and this and whatever. And he's like, yeah. And I talked to so-and-so, tonight during the show, as I was sending them, we're getting Taylor Swift in 2028. And I was like, wait, we're putting Taylor Swift out 4 years? What is this, a campaign? But yeah, or he said, I think. So if you're listening, you're a Swiftie, I can't promise you she's coming to Charlotte, but I can tell you they're trying.
Go to Ticketmaster, get your tickets.
She hit a new level of fame, I feel like, recently. Like she's become like big.
She's almost more popular than Bad Bunny.
Almost.
See ya veo tu mamá. Okay, with that, next slide.
Chief.
We just want to throw out to the listeners. I got a Pamplemousse LaCroix here. This is for the FDO downrange. We miss you, Jeff. Anyway, let's see. Did you already go fishing in Canada?
No, next week.
You're next week. All right, let's tackle that, and then we'll wrap with the Tennessee football update.
Okay, I like that. So this is going to be my 3rd year doing this trip, and we go to it's called Lake of the Woods. It's like on the border of Minnesota and Canada, and so we go for
the only lake in that woods.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Like it's not like in the woods; it's like of the woods.
Of the woods, yeah.
Yeah, but it's huge lake. Phenomenal. So we go up there and
beep,
say
beep.
Really, I'm scared to say it because I don't want to give it away because it's such a little honey hole for me. But
dude, that is
so
like,
can you beep that out?
Yeah.
In post. Yeah, seriously, when he says beep, it'll go beep.
Okay, got it.
All right, cool.
So, man, we fly in Minneapolis. Then we take a small plane, little jumper plane up to border town.
The plane jumps?
Yeah, little jumper plane.
That's pretty
private
cool.
Jet?
Yeah, not a private jet. I wish.
Caitlin Clark won't be there. Sorry.
No, it's not Caitlin Clark. Yeah. So then we take a small plane, go up to I can't remember the border town, what it's called. And then we take like a 3-hour cab ride up through Canada, and then we take an hour boat ride to get to this island that we stay on.
Is this a real story or is this a Grant story?
No, this is a real story.
Okay.
Is it Big Island or Bigsby Island or
beep?
I'll send you a link, dude. Phenomenal place. So we go up there. They have like a bunch of cabins that we stay at, and we fish. Literally, like you wake up in the morning, you eat breakfast, and then you fish. You catch your lunch. We fish for walleye in the morning. Get your limit. Pull over on island. They fry up some walleye. Then you fish in the afternoon. Go back, have dinner, and then you fish in the evening after dinner. You're literally fishing all day.
Wait, what's the limit on walleye?
I want to say it's 5.
Okay, and the size doesn't matter.
No, there is.
If you catch a small walleye, do you throw it back?
We throw it back just because it's like not good eating. Like the big ones aren't good eating, the small ones are good eating. So you kind of you're going for the middle ones,
like 24 inches or something.
Not that big. I think like 7 inches maybe.
Oh, okay, got it.
Like a little bit bigger than a trout probably. So, man, we catch our limit, and then you sit there and you jig for walleye, and then we eat, and then you just do smallmouth bass fishing, man. Like the rest of the time. And dude, there's zero. So there's no smallmouth in Texas. It's too hot for them.
Yeah.
Smallmouth.
Like I said, Texas is great on paper. Canada's good in reality.
Yeah. So if you want to catch largemouth, there's a ton of largemouth.
DM me. I hate the Panthers. I'll send you a coupon code.
And so largemouth versus smallmouth bass fishing. Have you ever caught largemouth?
Yes, with Jimmy Houston as a kid. I went on some fishing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty good story right there. So
yeah, there it is. We'll save it for next week.
Yeah. And so like largemouth, like big, but they're kind of compared to a smallmouth, kind of just like lazy. You just kind of reel them up and they don't have a lot of fight. Smallmouth are fighting a ton, like taking your line, zipping it. So yeah, I mean, it's just like 5 days worth of fishing. Every now and then we'll catch like a northern pike or a muskie, like a big giant trophy fish. I think
so out of muskie, northern pike, smallmouth bass, and walleye, because I kind of have a little bit of a comparison, but like when you hook one of those and it starts running your drag out, which one are you the most? I know size matters. That's what she said, but I know size matters. But which one? Like, do you know, like, oh, I'm going to land this fish versus like, oh man, like this guy might break me.
Yeah, I would say, so the northern pike and the muskie they're pretty sharp teeth, right? And they have sharp gills. Their gill plates are pretty sharp. And so if you don't have a steel leader on there, like there's a pretty decent chance like you'll get broken off, which I never do because I just fish for smallmouth. Yeah. So, which makes it a little bit exciting because you're
you fish for smallmouth in Canada or in Texas. There's no largemouth in Texas.
No, reverse that.
Okay,
no large
fish. So when you say you only fish for smallmouth, you mean
up in Canada? Yeah, up in Canada.
Yeah.
And so like whenever I hook like a pike or a muskie, it's like there's 50% chance like they're just you'll get broken off just because they'll flare their gills and cut the line. But dude, I think they're fun to catch, but catching a smallmouth, man, like a good smallmouth is probably. I'm a little bit biased on bass fishing, but that's by far like the biggest adrenaline rush. Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
I think people go out there and just like a muskie is a trophy fish. And so like everyone will probably
How big's a muskie?
Dude, I'll shoot you. I have some pictures of it. I'll shoot you, but it's easily.
But I mean, is it like this big?
It could be bigger.
Compared to the fish in your background.
It could be bigger than my 6-foot spread.
Yeah, they're probably like a big one's probably around that.
So it's like catching a marlin.
Yeah, not as big, but they get pretty big.
Okay, like a giant fish.
Yeah,
it's
big
like
fish.
3x the one behind your head.
Oh yeah, they would eat that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
dude, I looked up the island that will not be named that you're going to on Google Maps here. Where do you stay? Like it looks like a few trees, and that's it.
So on the island, they have.
Oh yeah, that's small.
They'll have like a bunch. They have like 7 cabins, right? So one cabin's like the main cabin where you have your meals, and then the other cabins are where you sleep. And so and they're not huge. It's like two bedrooms, and you just you stay in there. So I go up there with like all the guys on my wife's side of the family. We go up there and fish. So
they should outfit it with some Strength Co plates and squat rack up there.
Is it all guided fishing?
So that's the nice part about it is that like when you go with a guide and they like do everything for you. This guide is
not mine. I have the world's best fly fishing guide.
So probably similar. It's like he just says, he just says fish here.
Potential.
I would throw this fish here, and then he kind of lets you just do your own thing.
But you do have like someone shepherding the kind of whole event.
You can like when you go out in the evenings, like we just go out by ourselves. They fill up a boat for us, and we just go out.
Yeah. So I've been doing something kind of similar. I've called it the world's greatest hack, and it's like twofold. One, so I like to go with my guide once a month, and now that the weather's nice, I'll meet him early, like 7:00, get on the water 7:30, and we'll fish till like 4. Like how long can you expect this guy to stay? Yeah. But like I've already told my wife that I'm going to be gone all day, so like he'll leave, and then I'll be like take all the new skills I have, and I'll just go back into the water and I'll try to fish again. And so like on days that like I commit to fishing, it's like, I'm not going to do any work. I'm just doing this. Well, lately I've been like, well, if I get up at 5, I can leave at 5:30. I can be on the water at 7, and then I can get off at 10:30, and I can be home at noon, and then I can catch up on all my work and just work late, and it'll be fine. And so I've done that a few times, and it works fine. But then the other day, this like one particular river that I can't name, I'll name it, and then Jordy can bleep it out and post. Beep, beep, beep. You go there. So you go to beep, bleep that out, North Carolina. And then you have service, and then you go up into the forest. So you go up into the forest, and like, there's a bunch of different, you could do the lower part. You could do the North Fork. You could do, I guess you're going to have to beep out all kind of stuff. You could do this creek, you do that creek, you do this, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but basically wherever you're fishing, you can get back to beep 20 minutes. And then you'll have service again. So today I was like, all right, I really want to fish. I got marine drill this weekend. And then like, I was looking at the calendar. I was like, I'm not going to be a fish again until June 20th. So like last night I stayed up late, did a bunch of stuff, scheduled a bunch of like media things. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Everything's set. Emails are scheduled. Leave at 5:30. I get on the water by like 7:15, but I had a Zoom class at noon. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll just go down to beep. And by this fly fishing shop, they have like a tap room and coffee house, and I'll pack a sandwich and I'll get a coffee and I'll do my Zoom class. And then I'll like take 45 minutes, like put out any fires. And then I'll just go 15 minutes back into the forest.
Did it work?
It worked fantastic. Except today in particular, I went out in the morning. I caught 3 fish. I was kind of like paranoid about, I fished like a new section today. It's like whenever you just go to like a random pull off, you never know like what's the hike down going to be like. Am I going to hike down and then like the water's 7 feet high or it's like raging, like, so you never know. And so I hiked down, and then also if it's like the first time you've like, I always drop the pins and like save it. But if it's the first time you've gone down, at least me, I'm always paranoid about like finding where I come back up, because you just get so in the zone fishing and like working upstream that all of a sudden you're like, I've been fishing 3 hours. Have I gone a mile or have I gone 40 feet? Like, I don't even know. I've just been like, seam that, structure over there, fish that. So this morning I caught 3, nothing big, like 3 small rainbows. Saw a couple bigger ones that I was sight fishing. Like I gotta get better on fly selection, because they were like bumping them in the head basically. And like they weren't going for it. But yeah, so then I came back, I did the coaching, and I was so pumped. I was like, oh, I got this like new thing. And I was like, I'm going to go to this creek where you can just park. I don't even have to put my like wading boots on. I can just walk down there in Sperry's and I can fish for like 70 minutes. And then I have to go, because I was like volunteering at a church thing tonight. And so I did, and I didn't catch anything. I broke my flies like 3 times. I'm actually like way better at tying stuff now, so it's not as detrimental as it used to be. It used to be like Grant breaks his flies 2 hours, 2 hours later, Grant's fishing again. Now it is like, maybe 8 minutes or 10 if I'm autistic. But yeah, so I didn't catch anything in the afternoon, but it did work. It was cool. It was like you go up, you fish the morning early, you come back, and then like the other part of it is like, well, if I come back and there's like a bunch of orders or people wanting quotes or, something that's going to make me a bunch of money, then I'll just be like, well, I won't fish the afternoon and I can sit here and work. But
so long for Grant found his new office.
Yeah, I found a new office.
Yeah. New headquarters.
It's at the bottom of
I'm going to use that beep to beep
that's
the
one.
other
Yeah.
things.
Hopefully it's long enough. Yeah. But, it was fun. But what I was going to say, in line with your like walleye or this or that or whatever, for me, I've never caught a really big fish like in fly fishing. When I fished with Jimmy Houston, I caught some big ones. I mean, I've caught like some decent sized ones, but I've never like caught a big one. I've hooked a couple and fought them. And the biggest ones I've caught have all been rainbows. All the ones that I've like seen have jumped. I've gotten close, have like shown their head, and I've gotten really excited and lost. And it's probably up to like 5 now, have all been brown trout. I guess they're kind of known for like a strong head turn after you're like fighting them for a while. And so when I catch a brown now, like today, I caught one that was, I caught 2 rainbows in a brown. I caught one that was like literally maybe 7 inches long. But when I got it and he jumped, I'm like, oh man, like don't lose this fish. Like I know this thing's gonna turn its head on me. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting better.
Now,
by myself and catch fish.
You don't eat any of these, right?
I'm not opposed to eating them. I think it's like twofold. One, when I go out by myself, I've never caught, I've caught maybe like a 10 inch, maybe a 12 inch. Yeah. I've never caught like, and remember, I grew up working on the shrimp docks and like deheading shrimp, peeling shrimp, sorting shrimp, or filleting fish.
All right.
And so like, I know how much of a fillet
you
get out of, how much of a fillet you get out of a 10 inch fish. And it's not very much.
Yeah.
And so 1, I don't catch big fish big enough that I would eat them. And then 2, for me, it's always a time crunch. Like whenever I'm done, like I need to be done and I need to get home.
Yeah.
And when I come back, I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't have to deal with like 6
clean
fish. Yeah. So I'm not against it. But I've never kept fly fishing. Like growing up, I kept fish, but
do you eat rainbows?
Just throw them back.
Yeah, you just throw them back. Throw them back.
Do you eat rainbows or do you eat browns or do you eat both? Or
like I don't know you as a civilization, right?
Well, I just didn't know if I'm gonna have trout, like
when you're at a restaurant, I think you're like get rainbows. But I mean, obviously people must eat brown trout, but I don't know that I've ever gone to that I can think of like a place to eat to order fish and been like, I want the brown trout fillet. So
I just didn't know if it was like catfish, like there's like Some people like blues. Some people, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. I haven't looked at it from the eating it side.
Yeah, you're a conservationist.
I'm a conservationist.
Oh,
big time. Me and Jeff. Hey, to the FDO downrange. We miss you, Jeff.
Saving the world. Yeah,
Jeff. Just if I'm ever gone on a podcast, make sure to remember me like I remember you. All right, let's wrap this thing up with a little Tennessee football. But first,
the Volunteers.
We gotta say, BW Tax. Let me tell you, when Derek Dooley got fired, he wasn't worried about his next job. He wasn't worried, about his legacy. What he was worried is, what am I going to do about my taxes now that I'm unemployed? And I told Derek, I said, hey, I got a friend. He's in South Carolina. He's actually a Gamecock fan, even though he's from Boston. But he'll take care of your taxes, even though you're in Tennessee. And he's a tax expert. And if you take that job and wherever Derek Dooley went, he can help you out. And so shout out to our sponsors, BW Tax.
Absolutely. BW Tax. I love them. They're based out of South Carolina, but they can do taxes for you anywhere. They have CPAs. They have the team that you need to cut through all the red tape. They did Trey's taxes, got them in and got them out. And we got to mention that whenever you're calling them, don't think you're going to be talking to some chat GPT, some bot. You're not going to be put on hold for 25 minutes and then told we're going to call you back and then end up at church when they finally do and not be able to answer because you're in community with the people that are around you. When you make the call, they're going to answer. BW Tax LLC from South Carolina to
Tennessee.
Whiskey.
I was going to say, hypothetically, like if, let's say, you're a big time football recruit, Tennessee shows up with a McDonald's bag full of cash, who are you going to call for your taxes?
BW.
I know one guy.
Yeah.
There's one guy I'd call.
True story, by the way. Tennessee didn't even try to hide it that well. They just gave him a McDonald's bag full of cash.
Did you see Dabo Swinney with his recruit and he forgot his name?
No.
It's so good. He's like,
that's an old ball coach move.
I'm so-and-so. I'm a 5-star recruit out of so-and-so. And like Dabo literally jumps on camera and goes, and I'm Dabo Swinney, head coach of the Clemson Tigers. And I'm here with, and it was like a Joe Biden movement, just like, but like head ball coach would have pulled it off. Spurrier was so great with the media. R.I.P. I mean, he's alive, but
Yeah. RIP to coaching.
Let's talk
Tennessee. You want to hop into Tennessee, man?
Give it to me.
Dude, so I'm going to keep it short. I'm not going to get all nerdy out on all these football things. So Josh Heupel coming back. I think he's year 3 for him, if I'm not mistaken. Year 2, year 3. I can't remember. Dude, they were solid last year. They had a really good schedule or a really good record. Josh Heupel, high-powered offense, what he's known for. Oklahoma, played quarterback there. But just super talented on the offense side of the ball. Their quarterback, redshirt freshman, Nico, I can't pronounce his last name, Emiliano or something like that. I can't remember. But I can't pronounce his name, but the kid can play ball. 6'6", 210. That's all that matters. 6'6", 210 was like the second rated quarterback coming out of high school. Real solid talent, but this is his first year starting. They got a ton of talent at wide receiver. They got Brew McCoy.
Who's the guy they had last year that was really good? He got drafted, right? I think he got drafted by their quarterback got drafted by the Patriots behind Drake May. Which Drake May's name now blows my mind because you have the green drakes that hatch and you have May flies. And so now when I hear Drake May, I just think of
fly fishing. Big fly fishing guy.
But no, who is the receiver that was really good? Really tall, out route guy. Played at
Jalen Hyatt. Was it Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt went to. He's gone. He's at the Giants. Wait, he might have been 2 years ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, I could be off.
Regardless, yeah, that was their talent receiver. But they got Brew McCoy. And Brew McCoy was a kid who committed to Texas, went to USC. Transferred back to Texas and transferred again to Tennessee. So he's been all around the world, but super talented wide receiver. I think he's coming off an injury, so hopefully he comes back. They got a 5-star freshman kid. What's his name? Mike Matthews. Apparently showed out during spring ball. did really well in scrimmage. So they got a ton of talent wide receiver. They have like almost all their offensive line returning, I think. So they should be stacked on offense with Josh Heupel calling plays. Defense, defensive line.
From?
I think he's from North Dakota, South Dakota originally.
Okay.
But then played quarterback at OU.
Okay, but why are you so confident in his play calling?
Oh, dude. Well, he's like, are you talking about like where he?
Yeah, where he play calling last. Yeah.
Where is he? I think he was an OC, I think, under Stoops at OU for a little bit. Then he was a head coach. Where's Gus Malzahn now? University of Central Florida. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up, man.
But
he's super talented.
I wasn't trying to stump the chump. You
stumped the chump.
I did stump the chump, but you said it like great play caller, and I was just curious where he was before.
That's what he's known for. He's an offensive
calling plays.
Yeah,
if we're doing the march up Fallujah, he's your guy.
He's the guy. Defensive line is nasty. Coming back, they got a lot of good guys, but it's their back end linebacker and secondary that's kind of questionable, but they should be all right. Let me pull up their schedule, man. We'll get into it because they have a pretty favorable schedule going in. You ready for this? So I think we're going to be kind of on the same page going forward on these first couple ones. So they got Chattanooga. Open up a Chattanooga.
W.
I got
your Excel sheet open?
I do.
Okay, good.
NC State.
W.
At NC State.
W.
I think win as well.
NC State. The NC State is the Gamecocks of North Carolina.
There you go. That's pretty accurate.
It's very accurate.
Kent State.
W.
They go to Oklahoma.
W.
I got W too. I can't remember what you said. We go to Oklahoma.
Well, shouldn't it be in your Excel sheet?
It is. I'll go back. I think you said. Okay. I think you had Oklahoma losing as well. I got W as well. Arkansas at Arkansas.
So they're 4-0 going into Arkansas.
Yep.
I'm still gonna go W.
All right, Arkansas is terrible this year. I'm gonna go W as well. Then they have Florida at home.
Loss.
So you call loss to Florida? Okay.
I think it's hard to win all the games.
Fair enough.
Gator bait. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
They historically have had trouble with Florida. I have them beating Florida, so I have them undefeated. You have them at 5-1. I have them at 6-0.
Okay, got it.
Then they have Alabama.
I'm gonna go win. W.
See, I switch. I got lost at Alabama.
Okay.
Kentucky.
What do you go first?
I got win.
Yeah, I'm leaning. Let's go W. Michael Buckley will be happy. All these wins I'm giving to Tennessee.
Mississippi State.
Win. Their schedules.
They're going to be Mississippi State's going to be terrible this year. But then they got Georgia at Georgia. Loss. I got loss as well. UTEP at home.
W.
I got W. I get Vanderbilt at home.
W. So I got them 2 losses. I got them 10-2 or 9.
I got 10-2 as well.
So we both got 10-2. We split on Florida and
Alabama.
Okay. You got to put this in the sheet because as we go through all the things, I got to start thinking about this.
Yeah. Make sure you don't contradict yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I can't contradict myself.
It's true. You can, it's America. You can do what you want. Yeah, dude. I think I have them at 10-2. I think they're a fringe playoff contender, and I think they might sneak in at 10-2,
but a potential 11-1. They could beat Florida. They could beat Alabama.
They could beat Alabama.
They'll be good in the East. I got to learn all of these new East teams.
They got a good schedule, man.
I got to figure it out. Yeah, it's a nice schedule. They don't play the Gamecocks. If they were playing the Gamecocks, let me tell you, there'd be another loss.
There'd be another loss on the schedule.
Another loss. Shane Beamer in the house. Beamer ball.
But no, man, it should be good. Their quarterback, I think, is going to be a stud. So just be on the lookout for Nico. Last name unknown.
All right, let me see if I got any other topics here. Oh, yeah. Quick quick topics. I posted on Instagram. Send us your questions. Ow, my cat is literally attacking me.
That was brutal, dude. I saw it.
Actually was brutal. I think he broke the skin. Wants food. Okay, so we got 6 questions. And Trey, I think you can answer these really quickly.
Go.
And this person has actually DM'd us before and said Big Trey is back. So he's obviously a Trey fan.
Mm.
All right, so we'll just do like hot Instagram hot seat. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll let PJ play 2. So 6 questions.
Okay.
Trey, you're first. You have 10 seconds to answer. Favorite cut of steak?
Ribeye.
PJ?
Ribeye. It's easy.
Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, dude.
Personally, I'd go Fenway Frank. American made or Chineseism?
Next question.
American.
American, dude.
America! Chuck, yeah! Ping pong or foosball?
Ping pong.
I like ping pong better.
Ping pong, big time. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
I'll go beach. I'll
mountains.
Now we differ. Okay.
There's no trout on the beach. Garage gym or basement gym?
Garage.
Basement.
Basement all day.
I've never had a basement. I don't even know what that's like. Yeah.
Can you imagine climate controlled? I mean, we're coming up on July in Frisco. The painting is going to be done. Your girls are going to be like doing fine and kind of healthy. You're going to be squatting time, and you're going to be on the OK podcast like, it's 127 degrees in my garage in Texas. I can't lift today. Sorry, guys.
That was a great Trey impression.
And I'm going to be like,
dead on.
Take me to Texas for my garage gym's hot. I think we hit all the stuff. I feel like Jeff would be proud.
Jeff.
Next week, we may have a guest from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm?
If we can, that literally it's Jake from State Farm.
Hey.
Like, his name is Jake. Not even kidding. Hasn't quite locked in yet, but if we can get him on the schedule, he'll be here. We're so glad you made it. An hour and 42 minutes into this episode. We are brought to you by BW Tax. Great guy. And if you like, in the Marine Corps, they always tell you, look down at your uniform. One side, you represent the United States Marines, and the other side, you represent your family name. And if there's one thing BW does, he represents tax. A true patriot, he's never going to let your tax situation down. That's why his parents named him BW. I mean, he's a living legend.
I guess that's why they call him BW.
He's our sponsor. I think, what'd you say? There's 23 emails for sponsor requests? No, 34.
30. It was 34.
It was 34 counts.
Yeah. 34
counts.
Felony counts.
And we didn't like anybody. So we're looking at number 35. If you want to sponsor, maybe you're a small business. If you're listening to this podcast, you're in a niche group of people. I guarantee we drive you some business. A lot of people reaching out to BW this year. So hit us up. We'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
Actually, the sponsor would be a write-off.
Yeah. If you're a small business owner, you just write it off. That's what BW does.
And they'd figure it out.
So here's the deal. You sponsor the podcast, then you call BW and you basically make money.
You can't afford not to.
You can't afford
You're
not
going
to sponsor.
broke not doing this.
And what's your uncle's name?
Sam.
Todd. Okay, listen. I'm just going to real quick, then I'll hand it over to Trey to shut this thing down. Don't be Uncle Todd right here, okay? In this moment, I'm George Strait. And I'm signing a photo, and I'm telling you, this podcast is going to go big, and this is going to be worth a lot of money. And what I mean by that is you sponsor in the early days, we'll never forget your early loyalty. So you can do one of two things right now. You can email us and become a sponsor of the podcast, or you can rip up that photo of George Strait, throw it in the trash, and tell your nephews about it 40 years later. The choice is yours.
Dude, imagine Imagine waiting and trying to sponsor this podcast in 3 years when
luck.
when a 30-second ad is $400,000.
Because right now we tell people no because we don't really need it.
Yeah,
and we're like, no, we gotta like them as much as we like BW.
Right.
But one day it'll just be like, hey, how much you want to pay?
Yeah.
Before I kick it over to Trey, we almost hit 71 during the podcast. We're at 70,998.
It hit 71 at one point.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah, we crossed it.
Yeah. All right. Trey, as you do so great every week, sign us off. Make sure to mention Jeff and all his handles.
If I know him. Let me see. What is this episode number?
024.
024. Guys, I want to take a second. I'm going to have a quick 2-second moment of silence for Jeff not being here. That's it. All right. Jeff, we miss you. Looking forward to having you back. Guys, you've been listening to the
Okay
podcast. We are brought to you by BW Tax. I want to thank our sponsor, keeping the lights on as always. Guys, we'd love to see you on Slack. Please, you can look down in the link below. I believe it's in the show notes, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's always there. Go to the show notes, click Slack, come join us, come talk to us about lifting or nothing at all. We don't care. Just come talk to us. You find us on social media for the most part. We're not on Facebook still, but we are on everything else. The best way to find that, go to www.theokpodcast.com. Click the links there, like and subscribe. Go to YouTube. Watch our pretty faces there. Leave a comment so I can comment back. I'm pretty petty, so don't say anything mean. You can find us all individually on our individual social medias. Mine is 3 Gottlich on X. Jeff is, what is Jeff's?
Biggie JP on Instagram.
Posts a lot of great selfies there.
Tons
Most of them
of
have a
photos.
shirt on. Yeah,
Really busy account.
real busy. Can try to keep up. Grant's everywhere. You can go to his Instagram or X and watch him brew coffee. Super exciting.
Just type in GR to Google. It'll fill in the rest.
90% of my videos are coffee.
Love it. You gotta love it, man. Yeah.
We need a coffee sponsor.
Yeah, we do.
Jordy, it's Jordy. I know there's 2 underscores.
Jordy _ long.
Jordy 2 underscores long.
He's really long.
Yeah, the underscore's long. That's how you know.
So nice. He did it twice.
He's the same on IG and X.
Yeah, I got the deal.
Convenient.
2 for 1 package.
Come find us there. Yeah. Come join us. Love to interact with you. Thank you for listening as always. Coach, did I miss anything?
Nah, great job. This podcast is also powered by the Strength Co. www.thestrength.co. If you're from Canada, just DM me. I hate the Panthers, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Even if you're not from Canada, he still might do it. I don't know.
You never know. I hate the Panthers. Go Celtics.